Welcome to Anime Jail. We're going to be talking about some anime today. You're trapped in this jail with a couple weebs. My name is Jack, and my
I'm
my other
Leon.
co-host here.
Hello.
Yep, Leon says hello. Um, so this is our podcast where we're going to talk about anime. I know I just said that, but I'm going to repeat it. But I wanted to kind of introduce me and you, but I thought like the best way to do that would be to say what our favorite anime is.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Makes sense.
how would you approach answering that question?
Well, I think it's a difficult question
I think so as well.
because
Like,
there's a ton of good anime out there.
exactly. And like for me, like my favorite thing is sometimes just like what I'm into like at this moment.
Yeah.
I do have some all-time favorites that I feel like I can't really rate because I just like they're just that special.
hmm
But but I don't know, like what would you say your favorite anime is?
I think currently it's Kaguya-sama.
Mm,
So Love is War.
Love is War, yep, classic.
Yeah, and also Erased.
Okay. So that's a
Which is
classic for you.
also yeah.
Yeah, I'd say right now I'm reading the One Piece manga. I know that's not anime, but it's like right there.
Yeah.
Um, and that's definitely my favorite thing recently. But for all time, like my mind goes to like Girls in Panzer.
Yeah,
But
I guess
I
that.
I definitely do need to rewatch it because it's been like I don't know, like I haven't watched it all since like last year. But
hmm Is it something you watch every year? Like once a
it
year
could be.
around Christmas you have to
I
watch Bells and Panzer?
I could start that tradition. Don't tempt me.
Yeah, well.
No, but the recent movie came out right after I finished watching it all, and I haven't seen the most recent movie.
There's a
Um,
movie of Girls and Panzer?
yeah. So basically, what happened was they made the first season, and then for the rest of it, they were like, we don't want to make any more like episodic,
Okay.
so they just made the rest of it into movies.
Okay.
And the movies are called uh, Girls and Panzer Das Film and Girls in Panzer
Definitely.
Das Finale.
Okay.
And Das Finale is like parts like one, two, three. I don't know how many parts there are,
Is
but
it is it really called Das Film?
yes, yes, it is.
Really?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
Girls and Panzer is called Girls und Panzer. So like
Yeah.
it's literally written in German, but
But the problem is the gender of film in German is like masculine, you know?
oh wait, no, it might be Der Film. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
let's just look it up. No worries.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's Der Film,
Would
and I
make
was
more
thinking of Das
sense.
because it's Das Finale.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, Girls und Panzer, der Film. Yeah, der Film. But they're really good. They show the fight scenes. I mean, I call them fight scenes. They're really like it's like a sports series.
Okay, what's the sport? Fighting in panzers?
Now that's where the interesting part's in. That's where the interesting part comes in. The sport is called Senshado, which
Mm-hmm.
literally means the way of the tank.
Ah, okay.
And it's basically like if it's translated as tankery, but it's basically
Mhm.
like if like riding in tanks was like a classical Japanese sport, and
Mhm.
it is the funniest thing. It is so good.
Okay. Well,
But
I think I've seen the first episode, like of the first season,
yeah,
and it really didn't it didn't really
mm,
get me, you know?
yeah. You know what? I started listening to the Girls in Panzer episode
hmm
for Anime Out of Context, that one podcast that you told me about.
Yeah.
And they said the same thing. Like they were kind of like underwhelmed by it, and I was like, dude, am I the only one who like really likes this series? Like, I don't know, like something about it just tickles my funny bone.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going off on a rant about one of my favorite series.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so we can cut that short. But moving on to today's topic, we're
mhm,
going to be talking about something interesting. We're going to be talking about the Saga of Tanya the Evil.
mhm.
Um, in Japanese, Youjo Senki.
Yeah, there will be
I guess
spoilers.
there will be spoilers. There will be deep opinions about it, so get ready for that.
Yeah, well, let's see how
Um,
deep they get.
yeah,
I
that's
hope
true.
deeper than the anime.
That's true. We shall see. But yeah, Youjo Senki, in Japanese, literally young girl war diaries, which makes me understand why they translated it as that,
Okay.
because I think the Saga of Tanya the Evil is a much better name. It just rolls off the tongue in English better.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, because like young girl war diaries just doesn't seem right. And honestly, even after watching it, I still think it's not right. And we will get into that. But
Yeah.
so I guess where do you want to start on your opinions on Yojo Senki?
Uh,
You said you have a lot of thoughts, and we've been not talking about it because we want to wait for the podcast. So
yeah. So I liked the first episode. I have to say that
okay,
I enjoyed watching the first episode. Like you were kind of thrown right into it,
yeah, yeah,
with the battlefield scene.
hmm
Uh, and it felt like it was paced good, and it made me watch more. So it was a good first episode, I guess.
I think I would agree. I liked the first battle scene. I was taken aback a bit because even from the like first episode, there was already a bit of how shall we say CGI red flags where there was a bit of odd CGI choices for the models, and I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and we can get into that a bit later as well. But I think
Mhm.
it was a good battle sequence. It kind of showed off Tanya doing her thing and like fighting and sort of like just like being a badass, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know, like how did you feel about the rest of the first episode and how it sort of like set up the world and progressed and all that?
Yeah. So I enjoyed watching like Tanya go mad.
Yeah, yeah,
But the rest was meh.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Met to say the least.
yeah, so I didn't really get the like foundation of the story.
Yeah.
Like it was taking place in Europe,
hmm
but like not really Europe because it's a work of art and doesn't resemble anything,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
at least from their perspective. What I thought was kind of funny is that like the how do you call it? The team of Tanya, like
Yeah.
the
Her. Yeah. Her boys. Her squad.
her squad, yeah, or like the general war.
The fellas.
No, not the fellas, the country,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like was was like located around Germany. What I thought was
Yes.
pretty funny, like or like not funny, but well, it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something I was gonna touch on and that I was thinking about when watching it. But you notice how like at the beginning or end of every episode it was like this is a work of fiction and all things that could be implicated as real are all uh works of fiction or
Yeah.
they're all coincidences. I was like,
Mhm.
dude, there's a reason they have to do this. But it was like 1920s.
Yeah.
Um
Okay.
and I looked into it and it said like that like this was supposed to be a universe in which like World War One was delayed.
Hmm.
And so like they're basically in like World War One, you could say, I guess.
Yeah. So
But
there's no
yeah,
Nazi
you're right.
Germany.
True, true.
Yeah, but I think it was like interesting to see.
Yeah. I yeah, so I would say the moment where I really got confused was when the second episode started. And I have some feelings about this because if you'll remember, the second episode begins with showing you how he got reincarnated. And I will
Who
say,
got reincarnated? Oh, the guy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I will say, like, that part of the story I did actually like. I
These
like
2 minutes.
I like I like the idea that like there's somebody who like he's in the social ladder, he's in the top of this company, he enjoys like firing people, like he takes pleasure in sort of
Mhm.
like showing his status like in the world and in the company.
Yeah.
And like I like the concepts brought in where moments before his death, God stops him and is like, "Hey, um uh he's like I don't like I don't like how you approach me because you don't think that I'm real." He's like, "So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in a situation where you have to rely on me." And I do like that concept for an isekai because like Tanya is a very um uh or rather this anime is a very like unconventional isekai I would say because
Okay.
like it's very different from like your just like fantasy isekai type
I,
stories.
to be honest, I didn't really get that it's supposed to be isekai. I was just confused what this scene has to do with
Really?
the rest of the anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
I
I'm like opening this door.
yeah, I didn't get the reincarnation part at all.
I don't actually blame you because of how poorly it is like explained and just like laid out. But yeah,
Yeah.
so he's pushed in front of the train by this guy who he fired, and
Yeah.
then God is like, "Hey, um I'm gonna let your soul go, but you have to believe in me." And he's like, "I don't believe in you." And God's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna reincarnate you as a little girl, and you're going to
Oh,
be in a world that's like hellish." Um,
that makes more sense now.
dude, oh my god, dude, it literally on the Wikipedia page says East Guy,
Yeah, well, I
but
didn't really get into that. It
Mandai,
wasn't like the anime didn't get me that much that I had to look up
yeah,
its Wikipedia page.
no, I get you, like, because like as I was saying, I like the ideas brought forth by that, but I don't think they're well executed. And I don't think because I think you should start. I think you should show in episode 1 him being isekai'd because like
Yeah,
that starts the like it like gives you the setting and it's like, hey, this is an isekai where this guy is being taken to this world, like, but it doesn't
mhm.
feel like that because of how it's paced.
But if he's isekai, why doesn't he remember anything from from his past life?
Yeah, and like that is another weird thing because he like barely mentions his past life at all.
Yeah,
Does he even mention it at all? I don't even
I don't
remember
think
our time.
so.
Yeah. So yeah, that
And I also like, why is he okay? He enjoys firing people, but why does that mean he's good at strategic combat?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no connection,
Yeah.
or he's not funny.
It's not well laid out. Um it's hard to follow due to the pacing. Like you didn't even get a like key part of the story, which is not your fault. Like I think it's not just like it's just not well shown.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about first and second episode. Um and I guess that's just like general story stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What did you feel if you felt anything? What did you feel about the like story as it continued? Like towards the final episode
So
and
as you kind of noticed, I didn't really get the story. Like there
yeah,
was a world war in
yeah,
Europe. Like it was
basically,
called a world war, but only Europe was involved.
yeah,
And well, we have no like background information why this war started.
Yep.
And I also felt like it didn't really follow a structure. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like in every episode we had a fight with someone, and I didn't really know who that is. There was no like,
Dude,
I don't had a connection to them, so I was like, okay, they're getting
tell me
slaughtered
about
and
it,
that's
bro.
it.
Jesus, like one thing I will say is like that, like the way that the war is shown is so like half-assed. Like it just feels like okay, start this off. There were first of all, there were so many scenes of just like these old guys in like a dining hall smoking and like talking about like their strategy,
Mm-hmm.
and like
No.
there's just no context for it. Like I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I'm watching this. It is so boring. Like it's written in in such a boring way where I'm like I don't want to watch these guys for the seventh time this episode talk about why they're gonna fight this like they're fighting France or something, and I'm like, why? Like I feel like I don't know why.
Yeah.
Um, and I will touch on something here that I was thinking about, and I feel like this story, you really feel the fact that it is adapted from a light novel.
Yeah.
You did know that, right? Not
Yeah.
to,
I noticed that
yeah,
because I was looking if there's like a second season coming out.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
saw.
It feels like it would be much better if it was in a book form, and I feel like the anime is bogging it down. Because I think like these strategy type stories and like war stories are just better told that way. But also I will say we can get into this later as well with some of the other topics, but I think not only is this story kind of not as suited to anime, I think this studio dropped the ball in multiple ways. And I will get into that a bit, but it was produced by the animation studio Nut,
Okay.
and I did some research into like what they've done,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like the second season of Fooly Cooly, I believe. Oh no, it's season 3, which was picked up from Gainax, which Gainax is kind of like the people who are known for making it, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the opinion is that they dropped the ball on it, but I'm not sure there, so I won't say that. But honestly, the only other major thing they've done is um, Tanya, and there were multiple choices made that I didn't really care for from this studio.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did you feel about this like this studio? Like how did you feel about like the animation or like the character designs or the uh stuff like that?
Well, I was kind of confused by the animation
Yeah.
because like the two women we got in all these 12 episodes, except for the old like grannies at the
Yeah.
market.
Baba.
Yeah, they looked kind of childish, you know.
Yeah.
Like they were children, I know, but
Yeah, I mean Tanya literally.
yeah, I think Victoria as well. I'm not sure
Oh,
though.
is she young? Hold on, let me.
I don't think her age is mentioned.
I see. I see. I mean, she definitely like is depicted as being childish.
Yeah,
I I
but
I bet I can look up her age.
like all the men were just displayed as adults. Would you say
Yeah,
adults or adults?
you could say either.
Okay.
I would say adult, but some people do say adult.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So this says that she's 7 years older than Tanya,
Okay. So
and
she's 16, 17, 18, or 19.
interesting.
If you look up Tanya's age, there's like a list of 9, 10, 11, 12
Oh my
during
god.
the anime.
Oh, so that's like the time it spans. I see. I see.
I think so, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was confused.
Yeah. But what were you talking about?
That the women looked kind of childish.
So the
especially
same.
their faces. Like
Yeah.
I think their faces weren't like animated good.
Yeah. And this is another thing I really want to get into.
Hmm.
Um, because while we're talking about the light novel adaptation, by the way, the light novel is on Audible.
Okay.
And I was thinking maybe I should just listen to the audiobook cuz like I kind of thought it would be better. But speaking on what you were saying about like them looking childish,
Hmm.
I think the light novel art is much better than what they did for the characters.
Okay.
Um uh in in particular there was one art of Tanya that I was like, "Oh, that's actually really cool." And it actually played in the ending. Let me look up the visual I was going to show you. I really like how her face is drawn there and she looks so like ruthless there, and like the way she looks in the anime is just so like bubbly and like it just doesn't like it looks like Phineas and Ferb. Like look at that. Like it just looks like shit. Like I don't
Yeah,
think Nut did
I
a good
get you.
job with the character designs.
But
Yeah,
what I have to
so
say about the animation is that I liked how the cities were like drawn.
mm,
Like everything was brownish, which fits the like World War theme.
yeah.
Everything looked destroyed.
Hmm.
So I think at least that was animated good.
I would say so as well. I think like the atmosphere and the environment of the series I think was pretty good. I think it did a good job of showing how dark fantasy it is, you know,
Yeah.
because it's a very like dark world, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. As I said, I feel like a lot of these characters either felt poorly designed by the studio, like from a character design standpoint, or they just felt like they were meant to be book characters. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm looking at a book, and that's
Yeah.
not very interesting. So yeah, that's my take on how it looked, as well as the especially towards the end of the season, there was quite a few like CGI models in the back, and they honestly they did not look good. There was one in particular where this captain is like shaking his fist like towards a crowd or whatever at the end, and
Yeah.
like the whole crowd is like CG animated, and I'm like that. Ooh, that is a little yikes right there.
Yeah, I get you.
But I don't know, like, what did you think?
Well, I didn't really pay attention to the CGI because I like don't know what to look out for.
Yeah,
So I can't really say something about that.
yeah. I guess that's basically the story. And
Oh, I still have something to say about the story.
oh, okay, go on.
So that I enjoyed the episodes 10 to 12
Okay.
because you it felt like there was finally a little structure in there. Like it followed the
Yeah.
story.
Hmm.
But at the same time were a lot of fights. And with fights I mean a lot of shooting in the sky. You know?
Yeah.
Like there weren't really fights, they were just shooting randomly through the air.
Yeah.
And hopefully like they hoped to miss not to miss to hit something,
Yeah.
and sometimes they made a shield, sometimes they didn't,
Hmm.
sometimes it broke, sometimes it didn't, who knows.
Literally, like, it just felt so like here and there. Like, who knows what's going to
Yeah.
happen? Like, it didn't feel structured. It didn't feel intentional.
Yeah. And also
It just felt kind of random.
yeah, and also every episode like felt the same, like oh no
Yes.
we
Oh
can't
my
do that,
God.
but Tanya can, so we can do that as well. And that's the episode,
Yeah. Literally.
well with some discussions of like higher positioned people than Tanya.
Yes, and like so many of those conversations. But yeah, I would say the or well, not the one of the big flaws that I had towards the end of the series was that I thought there was gonna be another moment where God reaches out to her, because like during the show, like, God, or like Being X, I guess it was called.
Okay, so to get
Sonzai
that
X.
straight, being X is God.
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, what the hell is being X supposed to be? Is it
Yeah.
the main like antagonist, or
Yeah.
what is it like? Nobody else talks about being X except for Tanya.
And that just shows you how badly it was written.
Yeah. Okay. So that
Um.
makes like that's a question I've written down.
Yeah.
Being X is
I wrote
God?
this shit
Question
down.
mark.
You have like that board on the wall with like the red lines connecting it, like trying to figure out this shit. You're like, who
Yeah.
is it?
Who is being X?
Who
He's
is
there,
being
or
X?
he isn't.
Sonzai X. I think
Yeah.
being X is a good way to translate it, but I kind of thought, what if they translated it as like X dash existence, like
Mhm.
existence? Because
Oh
like,
yeah, that
because
would
like
be like
Sonzai means to like exist, or like existence. So I was like, that'd be so corny, but I would laugh if it was.
yeah. It would make the show funnier at least. Like
Yeah,
it would be a good joke. Another thing I have to say about like the story is why is Tanya drinking coffee? She's
that's your
supposed to
question.
be yeah, she's supposed to be 9 or
No, bro,
10 or 11 or 12.
she's maintained her habits from her old life.
Yeah. Well, since I didn't get that, I was like, why
Yeah,
is she drinking coffee?
you had some extra questions. Yeah, bro. So you
And
just
why?
thought this was like some like dumbass girl who just like
Yeah.
decides to run the military. Okay, seeing it from that perspective, it's kind of hilarious. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, but I didn't really get it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, why haven't they made her older, like 16 or 18? She would still be the youngest person there.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, the fact that she's a child doesn't really make sense, because like, why wouldn't, like, first of all, how? Second of all, why won't, why wouldn't she just wait till she's like at least a teenager to like show her, like, to like start doing this? Like, I don't really
yeah.
get that.
And
Maybe
nobody
okay.
is talking about the fact that she's a child?
Yeah.
Like, there's no scene where the, like, anime soldiers are like, oh, she's a child.
Literally, yeah, like they just accept it.
They're like, okay, she's a child. Oh, no, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not dead because
It's
I'm Sanzai Iksu.
Sonzai X desu yo.
Yeah.
No, but my questions about Sonzai X was, there seemed to be like a kind of structure where it was like, okay, so like every few episodes, Sonzai X is gonna like appear in front of her and be like, I am God, and I'm gonna make you like believe in me and shit. But then like at the end of the season, God didn't appear like in the last episode, and I was like, dude, you kind of like miss an opportunity there to like round out your point and like talk about how Tanya is relying on God to like beat all these people. But
Yeah.
there just wasn't that resolution, and I was like, bro, this is just poorly written.
Yeah, and we got a cliffhanger with another girl. That's the third one.
I genuinely, I barely remember that. I don't even know
Yeah,
if
there
that.
was there was this scene where another girl, probably she's supposed to defeat Tanya, but I don't know,
Oh my god.
enters her room and is like, "Huh, I'm here now."
Oh, that girl, yeah.
Yeah,
She was like, that's right, that's right. Because she was the one who Tanya killed her father.
yeah, okay, yeah, true, true.
Yeah, so like, oh, okay. One of the actual like plot lines that I could actually follow in one of the episodes was where this guy appears and he's like, here's my daughter. I have to leave her because I'm like joining the war effort. And then like it's a whole episode like following him. And then it
Mhm.
shows how like Tanya like kills him. But then like he comes back and like he also has like the yellow eyes for like Sonzai X is like taking
Yeah,
control of him, or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's showing that like the use of God can be for like quote unquote good or evil, because like he's trying to like protect his daughter, but it's basically just all evil because he kind of turns evil anyway.
so the yellow eyes are supposed to like show that being X is like using Tanya, or Tanya is using being X.
Yes. So basically, Tanza. Basically, Tanya is using God's power to fight, and so like
Ah,
that's like that's the irony, I guess, because like Tanya is here because she said, or he said shit. He said like, I don't believe in God, so I don't care about you or something. And then God's like, I'm gonna make you rely on me. And then he like forces her to
oh,
do that. But first of all, the way her power is introduced to her is so stupid. Like it's this dumb like science experiment. Do you remember that guy that like
yeah,
that
the
crazy
mad
doctor?
scientist.
And I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
I don't know. It just seemed like such a I don't know. Maybe it was just so boring that I couldn't pay attention, but it just didn't seem laid out well at all.
yeah, I didn't really know what his role.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I don't know what anyone's role is. So yeah, I guess that's some deeper thoughts about how I feel on the story. And as far as like the ending goes, I was like, dude, that one day when I said, okay, I'm gonna watch it all, I literally just put it on while I was doing everything. And
Yeah,
part of the episodes I just wasn't watching, but I just had it on in the background. And at the last 3 episodes, I just like sat there and watched it all. And dude, I was dying. Like I was just bearing through trying to not cry watching the last episode. Like I was just so bored.
yeah. Well, I also had to change my rating out of 100. You know my points.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But
okay.
we'll get
Why?
to it later. But I had to
Okay,
change
yeah.
it right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you mean like you had to change it like due to was something that happened or
Due to our talk,
Oh,
like
oh.
I had a
Oh,
rating, a
oh, I
fixed
see.
rating after watching the anime. But after talking now, I realized how much I didn't
Yeah.
change it.
Okay. I mean that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, the ending, that one girl is gonna show up or whatever.
Yeah.
And by the way, season 2 was announced.
Do we know when it's supposed to come out?
I can check. I believe it is 2025.
Okay, well then the next question is, do we want to make another episode for
Oh
the
my
second
God,
season?
am I? Oh gosh. Well,
I
that would be like watching it weekly, bro. I don't know if I can survive that long.
no, probably we'll just wait until it's finished and then, you know, binge it.
Oh,
Because,
okay. So it's Yojo Senki season 2 is TBA, so like to be announced later. So
oh,
we're not
okay,
sure when it is.
okay.
So we can decide to do that at a later point when I want to kill myself later. Um,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about the audio because first of all, one of my favorite voice actors plays a role in this. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
he's a character that either doesn't matter or is just written so poorly that I can't care about him.
Who?
But this guy, Erich von Lergen, like the like blue-haired
Oh
leader
my
guy.
god! Could you go back? So
Yeah.
I thought Hans von Zitur and Erich von Lergen is the same person.
Dude, I don't blame you. Look at this shit. Look at it.
I just
Look, look.
realized that they're not.
It's like they it's like their designs are so lifeless. Like they just look like cardboard cutouts of each other.
Yeah, but that's a problem with the characters, you know? There was
Yes,
no development, and there was so nobody felt like they had a personality.
exactly.
So I didn't really feel like I could identify with them.
Unfortunately, one of my goats was involved. Shinichiro Miki.
Oh yeah,
I love his voice. He's such a good voice actor. He voices Sir Night Eye from My Hero, who is one of my favorite characters from My Hero.
yeah. I've also thought about watching My Hero if it's like available
Yeah,
sometime,
yeah, that'd be
only
sick.
to listen to the fourth season
Oh my
ending,
God, the Sayuri song.
the Sayuri song.
Yeah. Well, okay, we haven't spilled the beans on Leon's love for Sayuri here, but this this will be a recurring topic for if anyone does listen.
Yeah, for if.
Boy, shut up.
And then we should probably talk about the best topic of the anime, the music.
I think I know what you're gonna get to. Yep, the music. Yep. Yeah, this genuinely shocked me. And I'm somebody who listens to anime soundtracks like just like in my free time, so I definitely like to pay attention to, um, like who did the soundtrack, like how it is and stuff. And I will say, soundtrack by Shuji Katayama-san. Um, I did some research on him, and he hasn't done a ton of other stuff that I know. But oh yeah, he's also done the Overlord OST. Which honestly made me want to watch Overlord.
And he made the music to Yarichin Bichi.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I did notice that down here. So he did Yarchin Bitch Club, if in case anyone's interested. Um, that's quite the 180 there.
Yeah.
But I was honestly blown away by the soundtrack. Like that was something that like I look forward to every episode. And Tanya's theme, like the main theme, I think is a great theme. I think his scoring really added to the dark and militaristic world that was being shown. And like when they were in fights and like her theme was playing, I was like, maybe this is cool. And in my opinion, if a musician can do that, then I think they have succeeded for me. But yeah, what did you think about it?
Yeah, well, I think the music fitted pretty well, like for most of the anime. But I had some like, how would I say that? I didn't really like the opening, Jingo Jungle.
Oh yeah, okay. So we're going into this. Okay.
Yeah, we're going right into it.
Going into this. Okay. Yeah. So you didn't like it?
Not really, since it's, I don't know. Is it Vocaloid? We consider it as Vocaloid.
It is not, because I believe so the band is Myth and Royd. And they also did the Overlord opening, by the way. So maybe that's
I would have also considered that Vocaloid.
Yeah. But it's not Vocaloid, but I know what you mean, because they use like this crazy like voice modulator or like voice filter that gives them that like really weird voice thing. So yeah, I think it is like an actual person singing, like it's not Vocaloid, but I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah.
And I would also agree that I didn't like the opening.
Okay, well then.
Which in theory, that shouldn't take away from the show, but it kind of does. I will say.
Yeah, well, if the opening is not good, like if I don't like the opening, that can change. Like in the current Oshinoko season, which finished yesterday, I think. Yeah. So I've watched the 13th episode of season 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like the opening, but in the end, like after episode 13, I kind of like it. It's like
yeah.
my opinion changed because it fits the anime.
Yeah.
But Jingo Jungle didn't do it for Tanya.
Yeah. What was it called again? Jingo Jungle, you said?
Jingo Jungle, yeah.
Yeah, bro, such a weird name. Like, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It did not grow on me. However, the ending I do still like, and that was the one that Selphius did a version of.
Yeah, she also made a version of the opening. To be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, it's called Los Los Los.
Yeah.
And I actually really like that song.
Yeah, me too. And I also like the concept, of having like a German-based anime with German lyrics.
Yeah.
In the ending song. What I was confused of is that there was one episode with another ending.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was like that other song. Yeah, I actually kind of like that song.
Yeah, it
Um,
was well, it was kind of boring because it was quite slow,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it
It was like
didn't
a
fit
ballad.
the
Yeah,
vibe of the episode.
yeah,
But it was just playing for one episode.
yeah. It was like one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's called Sense and No Realism.
Sensen no realism. Is it Senzen or Sensen?
Sensen.
Oh, Sensen. Sensen means like the line of battle, or like a like a war front.
Mm.
Um,
Like sen
my,
as line.
yeah. So
Like
basically,
okay.
here. Sorry for people listening. You might not get this.
You won't see the
Uh,
gshow.org.
you won't, you won't see my my kanji fixation.
Oh,
But
like sen for war and sen for
yes,
line.
yes, war line,
Ah,
literally like a war front. Sensen.
I
Um,
see.
so yeah, Sensen no realism. Yeah, so it's let's see, it was performed by Mako Nina. But yeah, it was a pretty good song. By the way, is this a flag for something that you know?
Probably, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like some flag like showed on screen, and I was like, is that like the Welsh flag or something?
No, the
Because
Welsh flag just looks different.
yeah, isn't it blue?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
that's Scotland, I think.
okay, so
Yeah.
I was remembering the dragon, but yes, it's not that. But yeah, that one ending, I thought it was actually a good song, but I didn't like it enough to actually like look it up.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was strange. That was kind of a weird like thing they did there.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not sure if you want to get into this now or at all, but I kind of wanted to mention. Um, so like I said earlier, I was using this show like as like background noise for part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and there was one word I learned in Japanese. For all you listeners out there, I uh, uh, I I study Japanese. I wouldn't say that I'm very proficient, but I enjoy studying Japanese and using anime as a tool for learning. I learned a pretty cool word that I kind of wanted to share because I thought you might like it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hold
but
on, let's see.
it's called gum,
Come.
and it is another word for you.
Okay. The fifth, sixth. I don't know.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Um, and I kept hearing this like kikanda and like kikang, and I was like, what is that? Like what does that mean? And they're using this as like to talk about you, but it's specifically used for like government officials and like military personnel.
Okay.
And I was like, that's so interesting. Like a different word for you that's used in a military context. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because that kind of stuck out to me.
So that kind of feels like how you would probably address like your like a higher
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
Like
like your officer, but like they were kind of just calling themselves that, which I thought was interesting because normally you wouldn't use the word "you" in Japanese. So I was like,
yeah.
huh, that's pretty cool.
Well, maybe they don't in real life. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, they probably wouldn't even use it to that extent in real life, but I thought it was a fun little linguistic side project.
So then we should conclude this episode
I guess so.
with the questions. With the last question.
With the question,
With the question of the analyst rating out of
yes.
100 in multiples of
So,
5. What's your
and
rating?
if I'm not mistaken, on AnyList I gave it a 25.
So it's a clear dislike.
It is a clear dislike. And it's crazy that for this podcast, I watched and finished one of the worst anime I've finished,
Okay.
in my opinion, because I'm what you would call a certified enjoyer. Like, if anime is on screen, I'm probably gonna find some enjoyment out of it. Like, I just enjoy most series to some extent, but yeah, like I normally don't rate things this low, but Yeah, it was more than a slog.
Well,
So, what about you, Leon? What was your final opinion?
so after finishing the series, I thought I had a pretty good understanding what happened and felt like a solid 45.
Okay.
Since I was rather neutral, but it was kind of boring, so 45 seemed alright. But after talking with you about the anime and finding out how much I didn't understand and didn't really
Realizing
get,
the isekai.
realizing the isekai, like the main thing, I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
The rating dropped to 30 out of 100.
So not too far from mine.
Yeah,
Bro realized it was an isekai, said, "No, I'm out."
25
I
and 30, that's a good rating for
I
a first episode. It's it's
yes.
my it's my fourth lowest rated
Oh wow.
anime.
Hey, I think sometimes like the ability to agree on how much you dislike something can make for good conversation, and I hope it did today, because
Yeah,
I think it was fun diving into how you thought about it. Tanya the Evil, I'm glad it's behind me. 25, moving on with life.
yeah. And then we should probably talk about what's up next time. I'm kind of
Next
scared
time,
though.
so
Like the
next time
next,
on Anime Jail,
yeah, I'm
do you
kind of
want me to?
scared.
Yeah,
I
you want me
want
to
you
mention the
to,
one that we kind of talked about?
yeah, and I want you to elaborate why you chose that anime.
Okay. So it is let me check to make yeah, so Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Um these two girls are quite popular online from what I've heard, this red-haired girl and this white-haired girl.
So to be fair, I've
And
never seen them.
okay,
Never.
okay. Okay, then they're not popular if Leon hadn't seen them.
Oh no,
Um
I don't know a lot of stuff since mecha is not a like type of anime I usually watch.
yeah.
I don't really know a lot. No.
Yeah, I'd say I'm not a huge mecha either, which is kind of why I want to watch it. But the other reason is that these girls are in love.
And the opening is from Yoasobi, right?
It is.
Ooh.
And also I have checked with some people, and this series is a fine entry point for people who've never seen Gundam before.
Mhm.
So,
But
like,
for us, or for me, I
yeah,
don't know if you've seen Gundam before.
I have not. And I think Gundam look cool. I've just never like watched any of the anime. Um, so yeah, Witch from Mercury is up next if we're down for that. And I'm anticipating. I'm excited to see what Leon thinks of mecha as a genre,
Yeah,
and
well,
hey, and what I think.
yeah, of course. And then let's conclude this episode.
So if you listen, thanks so much, and yeah,
Hope you
we'll
enjoyed.
see y'all next time. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.